Sunday morning coffee with KetoSimple. My name is Dustin. I'm so glad you're here. This stream will be starting soon, so grab your coffee, get comfortable, and settle in. We're building a strong and supportive community, so say hello in the chat, ask questions, and feel free to use super chats if there's anything that you want to see highlighted. Thank you for being here and being a part of this journey. Let's keep it positive and respectful as we connect and grow together. I can't wait to get started. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Morning with me, Dustin, on this channel for the 100th whatever time. Thank you. Thank you all so very much for being here with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And I think I messed up here, but we'll be okay, because over the last couple of Sundays, Tuesdays, all the live streams, we've been having an ongoing conversation. And that conversation's about what it actually takes to create lasting change. Okay? We've talked about consistency instead of perfection. We've talked about things that we've asked ourselves about good enough. What does good enough actually look like? We've talked about that. We've talked about satiety, hunger, food noise, whether we're doing enough to move ourselves toward the lives we actually want. But I think there's something that comes before all of that, before consistency, before figuring out what to eat, before worrying about whether you're doing enough. A person has to be ready. Now, how many of us know more than one person who could stand to do something about their current situation? They could make the necessary changes. They could switch lifestyles. They could go into eating this way. But it doesn't matter how compelling your story, your journey, what they've seen you accomplish or others accomplish, they're just not ready, right? And think about how many times you've heard somebody say, I could never give up bread. I can't live without pasta. I have to have something sweet. There's no way that I'm giving up my regular soda. I don't like diet soda. Why would I give up my regular soda? Sometimes our first instinct is to explain how they could do it. We tell them what they could eat instead, how their cravings would change, or how much better they could feel. But I've started wondering whether if any of that really matters, if that person simply isn't ready yet. Because the truth is, I wasn't always ready either. I wasn't ready for a long time. And I was over 400 pounds. Now, I'm not going to dive too deep into this because, again, I'll be talking about this in more depth today with Anthony over on his channel. He's going to be interviewing me on his channel, and we'll get that link put in here in a couple of minutes. But I was in pain, dealing with heartburn and allergies and feeling miserable. And quickly approaching the point where finding clothes that fit me in regular retail stores was becoming all but impossible. And you would think any one of those things would have been enough to make me change. But apparently they were not. Not immediately. I knew I needed to do something long before I actually did. I mean, we all know
but we feel helpless. We feel hopeless. We don't know, and, we don't even know where to begin. We don't know which stone in which to take our first steps. Because knowing wasn't enough. Eventually, though, I reached a crossroad where continuing down the same road became harder to accept than the idea of changing direction. And I've experienced that before with smoking. I've talked about me and my smoking. Nobody could make me quit smoking. I had seen my grandmother go through surgery to have a partial piece of, a partial lung removed because of smoking. And I continued to smoke. It wasn't because I didn't know cigarettes were bad for us. Obviously, I knew they were bad for me. I knew. I didn't need another lecture. I would come home and my grandma would pick up one of my cigarettes and have a couple puffs, and I'm like, okay, this is not good. After having some of her lung removed. Another lecture or a scary statistic. I had to reach the point where I was simply done. I had to decide I wasn't buying another pack. And I had to walk through that imaginary door where on one side I was a smoker trying to quit, and on the other I had become someone who simply didn't smoke anymore. And I think changing our relationship with food can require a very similar shift. At some point, this stops becoming a diet that you're trying and starts becoming how you choose to live. And I think that that's the biggest piece of the puzzle. I think that's what the biggest roadblock for certain people is the fact that they know that they have to walk away from something that they are familiar with, something that they are comfortable with, because it's deeper than becoming ready, right? We have to get tired of feeling crappy, tired of being tired of sitting on the sidelines of our own lives. But we have to start wanting something better for ourselves. And I think that may be the hardest part for some of us. Some of the people that we know, they need a change. They want to change. You see them struggling. Maybe they have to get help to put their shoes on, or they're getting to the point where they can't wipe their own rear end, or they're having trouble going up and down stairs, or they stop going places because, well, there's, it's just not convenient. The booths aren't going to fit me. I was that person. I wouldn't go to specific places because I knew that it wasn't going to be a good fit for me. I wasn't going to be comfortable there. It's crazy just how comfortable we can be in our own discomfort because it's familiar. Because food becomes more than nutrition. It becomes comfort, entertainment, celebration, stress relief, and sometimes the thing we use to soothe ourselves when everything else feels just unimaginable. It feels like too much. Now, some of us have to truly lean into the idea that food is just fuel. Some people don't necessarily have to go that far. Some people may find that to be a detriment. And I know that that's what I do. That's what I had to do, because when I tell somebody, just stop eating that, we may be asking them to give up something that's been helping them cope with life for decades. Life is difficult. But being overweight, sick, and just inflamed and sore is even worse. It's even harder. And you can say choose your hard, which is harder. Change is almost always harder than where you are now in the beginning. But that's a much bigger conversation than just giving up carbohydrates, right? Because it is more than that. So that's what I would like to have a conversation with you about today, right? What makes us ready? What's something that not necessarily rock bottom. What was your rock bottom? What made you ready? It was the thing that happened that you knew that without a shadow of a doubt that you needed to make the change? Because, somebody, how do we help somebody get there? How do we help somebody who doesn't even know where their own crossroads are? Because we can share how we've changed our lives. We can show people that we're losing weight, feeling better, reducing food noise, getting healthier, getting off of medications, and starting to live again. But we can't force anyone to follow us through that door. Maybe our job here is simply to keep showing up, keep planting the seeds, keep growing this community, and make sure that when somebody finally reaches that moment where they say, I'm done, I'm ready, they know exactly where to find us. So anyway, grab your coffee, because I think we're going to have a really interesting conversation this morning. I'm excited that you're all here. Super excited that you're all here today. It's the high point of my week, knowing that you guys are going to show up, you're going to be here, you're going to chat with me. First and foremost, we knew that Evelyn was going to be here. Good morning. Good morning. How are you, Evelyn? So very glad to see you. Oh, and Sandy is here. Good morning, Sandy. And Mr. Gugahan is here. Good morning, sir. How are you? Welcome. Mr. Brian Doyle is here. He's going to be walking 18 holes this morning. Tee up for 6:45. We'll see if I can get it done and time to come back. Yeah. Hopefully. Enjoy your golf, my friend. Enjoy it. Enjoy the outside. Hopefully it's not overwhelmingly hot where you are, my friend. And Evelyn says, good morning to me. Me and Sandy and John and Brian. Donna Ray is here. Good morning, Donna Ray. Does I see that you were on with Dave Mack? And it'll be available sometime today? Congratulations. Dave is awesome. I imagine he made you feel very comfortable, relaxed, ready to talk. Oh, Donna Ray said, smoke quality is excellent today. I may do everything inside. It might be a good plan. Might be a good plan. And Evelyn said they got some rain that really helped the smoke clear. Nice. And Donna says, used to not worry about it, but I got to that age where, at that age, I'd hate to have to bring me down. Yeah. And Donna Ray says it's 63 degrees there, feels like 57. That sounds amazing. It's 66 degrees here. Supposed to be a high of 84 today. And Josephine is here. Good morning. Good morning, Josephine. So very glad that you have joined us all the way from the other side of the planet. Good morning, Mr. Dish. How are you doing, Brian? So very glad to see you as well, my friend. And Donna says she has a feeling they're going to see a lot of me today, a lot of each other today. Yeah, I don't often do 2 lives in a day, but we're doing it today. We're getting it done. Cordelia is in the house. Good morning, Cordelia. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And our friend John Smoothie is in the house. Good morning. Hello. Hi. How are you? Oh, let's see. Yeah, Cordelia watched the Dave Mack interview. Donna Ray says, cool, said that I haven't even told anyone that it was on today yet. How did I do? Be kind but honest. Yeah. Josephine, she says, could someone please tell me when Dustin is live? As for some reason I need to refresh to see him and hear him. I am here. Good morning. So I guess he's released it as a members only first. And Evelyn is on it and has posted the link for that already. Fantastic. And Ivy is here. Good morning, Ivy. How are you? Welcome. Ivy has a channel, if you didn't know. If somebody could put her channel in, she's been posting some shorts, some like vertical format video. They're not necessarily shorts, but they are in that short format, but they are longer content about her and some ducks and her, I think it's a farm. So go and check that out and become a subscriber to her. Cindy. Good morning, Cindy. Of course you're here. You say good morning. I am on time. He is late. You know, I'm here when I get here, okay? I'm here when I get here. Is that okay with you? Is that fine? I've missed you. I haven't seen you around in a while, and I've missed you. Yes. Josephine says, it looks like someone's trying to take Dustin's coffee from him. That is not, nope, nobody's taking the coffee from me. No, thank you. It's delicious coffee, too. I love it. Boy, do I love it. Donna says it was a members first. It won't be released until around 4 o'clock or so for everyone. I hope it was edited so I don't come off like a crazy person. You know, I feel the same way. I've been on with Dave twice, and probably go back again if he'll have me. I felt like my second time was not as good as the first time. I always kind of feel like we're hardest on ourselves. We're our own worst critic, right? Yes. Look, it's Jeffifa. Jeff is here. Good morning, my friend. My mustache is bothering me today. I should probably trim it eventually. You know, I should probably trim it. It's very long. But that's not for right now. That's for later. But, I don't like it too long, and I don't like it too short. Because it looks weird, and it feels weird if they're the wrong length. Yeah, I'm weird. It's fine, right? Everyone say hello to Aaron. Aaron's in the house. Good morning, my friend. How are you, sir? Andy. Hello, gorgeous Andy. How are you and Susan? How's the grandbaby? All the grandbabies. You've got all the grandbabies. I hope they're doing wonderful. I hope they're doing great. Beautiful. Doing all the things that babies do. Ivy said, there's a cloud bread and egg noodles, so no problem. Oh, there you go. There you go. And he said, I had a local friend text me just the other day and ask me about low carb. She and I are going shopping on Tuesday. It was a good day. I love it. Just remember to not overwhelm. Give just enough info to get started. Because I know when I used to give advice, I would just dump it all. There you go. Ha, ha, ha. And then be like, I can't do it. It's too much. Isabel is here. Good morning, Isabel. Good morning, everyone. She says, I love it. So glad that you're here with us today. Cindy says, that's how I feel about lectures even now. I've heard it so much, so often, it can get old and boring. You're old and boring. I love you, Cindy. I miss you. I feel like I haven't had a chance to talk to you in a very long time. I hope you are able to make it to August 8th and hang out with us a little bit. I will be glad to see you and Brian. Very much glad to see you too. All right, everybody. Everybody watch out. Sean's here. Hello, Sean. How you doing, my friend? It was glad to have you on yesterday. Very good. Had a good time. Mr. Gugahan said, I went on a 47-mile bike ride yesterday morning. I really enjoyed it. It took me almost 4 hours. So you were doing like 40, 10, 11 miles an hour. That's not bad. That's a good clip. That's a good clip. Josephine says, let's see if we can. BB's needs to say hi to son. Yup. I'm asking friends for help. I don't ask friends yet. Had chemist. So chemist, I would say, let me see if I can translate this. Chemist in Australia would be the pharmacist. Well, we would call a pharmacist here in the United States. Has a few things to try and help quit. Yeah, there's always tools to help you quit smoking. I did not want to use those. I was just done. It was rough for really, really rough for about a week or two. Then it got easier, started to get easier. But I also leaned heavy into coffee. I got really into coffee. Yes. Pambo is here. Hello, Pambo. Hey, Cindy, I heard you were having a meetup sometime soon. I'm having a meetup. I'm having a meetup in Avon, Indiana, August the 8th, 12 noon at the Avon BW3s. Yes. And Charlie says, it's amazing how much we negotiate with our limitations over time until our world becomes smaller without us noting it. Really, it really does. It really, really does. I mean, it's even happened since, like, it happened all over again. I think, however you feel and however you looked at the pandemic, and this isn't a discussion about the pandemic in of itself, I think it's the ramifications of going through an event as a large group of people in the world, how it was handled and how things worked, how now we look at the world differently. Things have shifted so much where, things aren't 24 hours a day anymore. Very, very few things are 24 hours a day. We're more cautious about going places. We're more reluctant to go places. At least that's how I notice things. I'm more prone to stay at home, where before I was eager to leave the house. Now I'm more just settle in. And it also probably has a lot to do with the fact that grandkids. I can hang out with my grandkids. We can hang out, we can chill, we can watch some movies, we can color, we can do things that I wasn't necessarily interested in prior, because, the pandemic was 2020. Granddaughter was born in 2018. So we were really starting to able to hang out and do all the things during that pandemic. So I think there was a lot of things that shifted, but also shifted in my personal life, being home with the grandkid all the time, and that just really shifted my priorities. But I think that these things can happen without our understanding or without us noticing. Like, carb creep, or how we can slowly change how we eat over time. I think how we eat now versus how we ate in 2016 are vastly different. In the very beginning, we were much more into the replacements, and we were making more things and trying to wrap everything in bacon and do all these crazy things. to keep it exciting, where now how do I make this as easy as I possibly can? How can I throw some burger patties in the air fryer? How can I throw, chicken thighs on a stove and make them cook very quickly and make them crispy and delicious? How can I spend the least amount of time in the kitchen as I can? Because I've got other priorities. So I think there's lots and lots of shifts that happen to us over time. Some positive, some negative. And Cindy says, yeah, hey, Pam. I'm not having one, but going to the one Dustin is having at BW3's in Avon, Indiana. Yes, August the 8th at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, or whatever. You know what I mean. Jabber Jen's in the house. Hello, Jen. How are you doing, my dear? Welcome. So very glad to see you here today. Yes. The pain. Until it's gone, you don't even realize most of it's even there. It's weird on what you can become accustomed to. The pain, the joint pain, all of it. It's crazy. Ivy's asking, do you have Dustin's schedule by chance? What schedule? I don't know what's happening. What are we talking about? And Charlie says, rock bottom is highly individual, 100%. But it's the necessary ingredient to seeing their status quo as unsustainable. Yes. Some people hit it much faster and it's less impactful overall. And some people have to go way down to start coming back up again. Sometimes. Josephine says, I wish I knew someone that I could talk to about it all, or go on walks or barbecues in person. What town do you live in, Josephine? At least give me, you don't necessarily give me where you live, but kind of give me a generalized area, and how far are you able to travel? Because there's a low carb down under conference there every year somewhere. So I would wager that there's probably little events happening here and there and everywhere, right? Like gummy bears. They're bouncing here and there and everywhere. We are the gummy bears. Anyway, yeah. So I imagine we could find something going on, some group that's down there in person, down near where you are. I hope, maybe, because there's always something here. But here's not where you are. So we'll have to take a look at it. Maybe we could all look this up, see what's going on, see what we can find. And Josephine, maybe you start something. Maybe you get the ball rolling and you find the people come to you. You be the beacon of hope that they need. Well, Rick, make an event. You have the power of social media. You could make an event. You could slum it, even have people meet up at McDonald's or where. It doesn't matter where. You can meet up at a BW3's. It doesn't matter where. You can just get people together. You live in Miami. I imagine that there's a good number of people who would be happy to come and hang out with you, Rick. If you make it happen, my friend. I imagine that you could probably find a venue like BW3's. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be 110% perfect carnivore. It just has to be a place where people could come together and hang out for a couple of hours. And Evelyn said, Ivy, he's here Sundays and Tuesday evenings, and the rest is intermittent. Yeah, I do Saturdays sometimes when I have people. I will be having, who Who am I having next week? I'm having High Calorie Human on next week. I haven't posted it yet. I've got to get that because the way my streaming service is set up, I can only do really kind of one at a time. I used to be able to stack them and build them up in advance, but it doesn't let me do that here. I mean, I can, but it's just more complicated. So I'll be live next Saturday sometime with High Calorie Human. Bill, he's been on Dave Mack. He's been with Meaning Wellness. He's gotten around, and he'll get here to talk to me. I'm excited about that. And I do lives every other channel lives. I moderate on other channels and other platforms. So I'm around. I'm around. Yes. I'm looking through the chat to say hello to people. Lions Danivore podcast is in the house. Hello, Dan. How are you? So now we're talking. Good morning, all. So psyched for today. Well, especially with my team at the final. Happens what happens. So excited. Yes. Congratulations on the team that you like being where it needs to be. Go sports. I'm not even sure what's happening today. I don't even know what's going on with sports. It's hard for me to keep up. I can barely keep up with my own life. And Charlie says, I need to reach out to Dave Mack for my round 2 interview with him. Year 3 on Carnivore has been about expanding capabilities like running a half marathon in under 2.5 hours and winning a gardening award. Look at you, Mr. Green Thumb. Yes. How are your wife and daughter? How are everybody doing? Is everybody good? I feel like we used to have a little more communication. But I know how things get. Things just happen. Aaron says, it's a beautiful morning. Have to umpire this morning. Well, that's going to be wonderful. Hope you enjoy that. And Brian Airy is here. Hello, Brian. So glad to see you. How are you? And Ivy says, I am so happy that your beard doesn't look like it's partially make up your nose hair on the channel. There's one channel, Sweet Guy, but I just can't watch. Your beard is very nice looking. I'm very I try to keep the nose hairs at bay because they itch. I mean, it's just bothersome. I do try to keep a little bit of a space. It's just difficult without losing too much. But I do my best because it's itchy and I don't like it. Yes, 100%, Evelyn. What he's saying is he hasn't had the chance to pick on you in a while. Yes, indeed. That's very, very true. I like picking on Cindy. She's like my bonus mom. And I know I gave my mom hell, so you're welcome, Cindy. All these wonderful people are here today. Look what we got here. We got Mr. Rick Twinbrook Acres is in the house. He's saying hi to Evelyn and to Sean. Hello, Rick. I was lucky enough to have dinner with Rick last week with Lynn and Jaqueline. It was a very nice time. I had a wonderful time with those three. It was great. Ivy said, smoke a blend of dandelion and bridal clover. It's a nicotine I don't know how I feel about all that. I just don't. I didn't want to. I picked up coffee as a replacement. So, yeah. Mr. Rick says, I'll be right back. I don't have audio for some reason. I hope you can all hear me very well. Retired Rick is in the house. Hello, Rick. How are you doing, my friend? Very glad to see you today. Rebooted, that's better. There we go. I wanted to touch base here. Let's see. I wanted to touch base somewhere here because, let's see. Charlie says, I just got the Carnivore bar, everyday bar. It's like a fun-sized pemmican bar. Yeah, I mean, that's really what Carnivore bar was. It was basically pemmican. Now, I don't know how much the size difference is. Let's see if I can look this up. Let's see if the ye old internet tells me. The Everyday Carnivore bar weighs 1 ounce and is designed as a budget-friendly snack-sized option, whereas the original Carnivore bar is significantly larger, typically running up to 400-plus calories per bar. The smaller Everyday bar costs around $5, making it much more affordable. Yes. So my understanding is that the Carnivore bar was 2 ounces. If the Everyday bar is 1 ounce and it's $5, even eating 2 of those still be $10, which is still a $7 savings over the previous offering, which you can still buy. One of the main things that I had that was bothersome to me about Carnivore bar was the fact, not their quality. Their quality was fantastic. Their ingredients, wonderful. The company, from what I understand, fantastic. The cost, and I understand the cost. I understand where they're coming from. I understand why it was so expensive, but it just didn't make sense for us, our budget. I mean, even if you're getting 8 ounces of meat for $17 or as low as $14 if you're buying 50 of them, realistically, I could get like, I don't even know. I mean, I could get for $12 6 burger patties from Wendy's. And now is that the same quality? Probably not. But in a pinch, it's going to work, and it's probably going to be far more satiating to me than a 2-ounce bar. That's just my opinion. That's just how I looked at it. Now, as far as the new lower cost bars are concerned, I could get behind it. I still don't think it's going to be something that we would purchase, but it would be still something that I could recommend, right? I could say, hey, if you're struggling, if you need something, here are some options. The Everyday Carnivore bar, 1 ounce, $5. Not the most expensive product that we have seen in this community, not by a long shot, but it has to work for you. Will it work for you? Will it work with your satiety? Will you be satisfied with just one? Will that fit into your budget? These are all questions that we have to ask. Let's see. What other things do we have going on here in the chat, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, this is where Rick said that there are no events ever in his area, and he also says later on that he doesn't have money. You don't need money. You don't even have to eat at Buffalo Wild Wings. You can just organize it. Everyone else buys wings. You sit there, have a glass of water. You like ice water? Hang out. Get together with people. Just get together. It doesn't have to be complicated. Okay? It doesn't have to be, why's it gotta be so complicated? It doesn't have to be that. It does not. Just be with people. It does wonders, especially for mental health. Being around people does wonders for my mental health. Just getting out of the house and doing something. Like Thursday night, I went to go see a band called Entheos. I was very fortunate that they came on about 8:30. We're done in time for me to be home by 10 o'clock. Now, I was drenched to the bone by the time I got to the car because it was pouring down rain at the venue when I left. There was another band after them, but I wasn't there to see them. I was there to see Entheos. But I had a good time. I went by myself. My friend's the bartender. I said hi to him. We talked for a minute, and I went home. There we go. Brian says, hi, guys. I'm on number 84, checking in. I love it. Let's see. Josephine says, sad, not far. I've heard that the meetup I would love to go to, but I have to save up and get a good car. Oh, well, I mean, maybe you can build one, set one up, and have them come to you. Yeah, do it. Make it happen. Set it up at a barbecue place. And Rick says, I'm too poor, too poor. Shut up. You're not. You don't have to spend any money at Buffalo Wild Wings. If you get 10 people show up, they're going to spend probably $30 to $40 a piece. They're going to be happy that you're sitting there drinking ice water because you brought all those people to spend money. You know what I'm saying? You can do it, Rick. You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you, Rick.
Let's get dangerous.
Let's do it. If I was ever in Miami, we would set something up and we would have a meetup and we would do it and you would show up and we would hang out. And you get to meet me in person. But I don't get down to Miami very often since I've never, ever been there. I would like to go to Miami, but I don't know if I'll ever make it down there. Maybe sometime. I imagine the first time I ever go to Miami will probably not be for good circumstances, but we'll have to wait and see. Chandra's parents live down that way and they're in their 80s. So if things happen, I don't know if they'll be shipped up here or we have to go down there. I don't know what'll happen. I don't know. Josephine says, if I was working, I would get all the homeless and others would join for a free barbecue. But yeah, you know, I mean, there's probably some organizations that could probably help you get that set up. I imagine that there are, you know, that would be a good thing to try to do is try to get some kind of thing like that working. I don't think you need money. I think you just need the organizational skills and the effort to put in to make it happen. I would like to think that the generosity and compassion of people in this world is far greater than we currently give them credit for. I think right now we are inundated heavily with a lot of negativity, but I think people on the whole are better than we give them credit for. That's how I choose to look at this world. I like to look at this world as a much better place than we tend to think, at least currently. You know, that's how I like to see it. We never know until we put forth the effort. You never know what you can accomplish. Right, Josephine? Right, Rick? You can accomplish so much. Aaron is here. Good morning, Aaron. How are you, dear? So very glad to see you. And Rick says, I agreed. I've never had an interest in sports played by others. I don't mind watching sports from time to time. I used to love watching football. Like when Peyton Manning was a Colt, and then when we had Andrew Luck as a Colt, I liked watching football. But then it just became I have other stuff to do, and I don't have time to sit down and watch a 3-4 hour football game every week. Because I'm watching live streams and hanging out with all of you people. My priorities have shifted. I still enjoy watching a basketball game every once in a while. We got the Pacers, the Indiana Pacers, Indianapolis Colts. We're building a new soccer stadium here somewhere on the north side. So we're going to have soccer. I mean, there's been soccer here. But, you know, the Indy 11 soccer club. Yeah. Jabber Jen has got her coffee. She's half asleep. Give me 3 hours and I'll be good. Well, you got 3 hours, dear. You got 3 hours. 3 hours, and then join us at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for me over at Anthony's channel. I'm sure we'll put it in the links again in a little bit. Yes. Rick said my Dave Mack interview was so many years ago. Well, reach out to him and do another one. You can do another one, Rick. You can do another one and talk about Miami, that you are in Miami, that you would like to get people together in Miami. You know what I'm saying? Make it happen. Charlie says, getting ready to go grab life by the kettlebells this morning at the gym. Have a great rest of the morning, everybody. Thank you, Charlie, for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, my friend. Be safe and enjoy. Yes, eyeballs and pants. Looks like eyeballs wearing pants. I think that's what that is. Josephine says, starting closer to home, get a few friends out, enjoy nature, a little veg garden, table chairs, coffee, to hopefully barbecues too. Yeah, you can do it. You can make it happen. And Cindy says, Dustin, I have 2 sons that have been known to give me hell, so why not another? You know what? I'm here, and I'm going to give you hell because it makes me feel good about myself. Oh, my goodness. Mr. Dan says, some people wake up early, ready to conquer the world. I wake up wondering who invented mornings. You know, same. Like yesterday, I got up and was getting ready because I was going to be involved with chatting and watching Dr. Barry's 2 lives that he did yesterday. If you're involved in the private network, he does 2 lives. He does a live for the regular group, and then like the plus group, he does another live. There's Zoom calls basically. And since I've been added as a moderator over there in the private group, I've been joining in on those and watching, and you can learn so much from watching those things. And I had planned, because he had an 11 and a noon, and then I had Sean at 1. And I was getting ready, making my coffee, doing things, and my daughter called me. Her phone number rings on my phone, and it's my granddaughter, and she's like, Pa, can you come and get the baby? They had decided yesterday to go out to Plainfield to stand in line in 90-plus degree heat, direct sunlight in the morning, at this Hello Kitty van. It's like a food truck, but it wasn't food. She got a blanket and a stuffy, and I don't know what else she got. No, she got a big cookie. So they had cookies, but they weren't like, it wasn't like a food truck. You couldn't get tacos, you know what I mean? I don't understand a line that long and there's not any tacos, but I mean, what are you going to do, right? So I go and I pick up the baby, and she's fussy most of the way home, then she falls asleep. I get her home, and she's soaked through the bone, get her changed, get her a new diaper, and do all the things. And her and I are hanging out, having a good time, watching the fishes. So on our TV upstairs on the Fire Stick, there's like an ambient setting, and you can set it, and it's got these super high def, like underwater ocean fish. And she just captivated by the fish. She either likes the fish or she likes the Bluey theme song. So as Bluey theme song comes on, she's dancing and having a good time, and it's adorable. So we were hanging out until Mommy and Big Sister got home. And then I got a chance to catch up on the last little bit of one of the Dr. Barry lives, and then be a little late to my own. Yeah, Sean was like, where are you? And I'm like, trying to get stuff done. But yeah. I don't remember what we were talking about before that, but early morning, early riser. Like today, I had eggs already. I had eggs and cheese and some fried bologna today already. What is happening? What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? What am I? Who am I? Who is this man? Whose man is this? Ivy says, in our co-op village, my shop is the apothecary. Well, I can't apothecary. I have such a tubbo. I have tubbo thing apothecary. I don't know what's going on. Apothecary. I have to say it very slow and deliberate for me to say it correctly. My mouth just doesn't want to say that word. And hookah lounge coffee shop. That sounds phenomenal. I used to really, really enjoy hookah. When I was a smoker, sitting around a hookah was fantastic. I loved it a lot. And then coffee. I love coffee. It's not built, though. Oh, my goodness. Make it happen. Wait, what's happening? Josephine Chandra, I heard as I read it. What's happening? Dan says, some people meditate in the morning. I stare into my coffee until it starts making life decisions. You know, you are not alone, my friend. I sometimes like to sit in the dark with my coffee. I mean, that's what this is like. Again, this is where this whole live stream came about, is the fact that I would sit Sunday mornings after Chandra went to work. I would sit and I would sometimes sit in the dark while the sun was coming up and just drink my coffee and enjoy the quiet house, because the house is not often quiet. Sometimes I have maybe 5 to 10 minutes here by myself where no one else is home. It's glorious. Glorious, I tell you. Carl says, I've got my keto brains and coffee and relaxing with Dustin in the morning regulars. You know, nothing beats it. Maybe I need a theme song like the best part of waking up. I don't know. That one's probably taken already. That one sounds pretty popular. It's probably already taken. Probably get sued. Christy is here. Hello, Christy. So very glad to see you, my friend. How are you, dear? Carl says, doing a dog food test. They are now on 100% homemade keto diet. I love it. So what is it like? Are they keto? Are they like more carnivore? Like, what's the ratio? I'm curious. Because I would like to do something for our dogs. Our dogs eat the crappiest kibble. But they're not my dog. They live in my house, but they're not my dogs. But I would like to see them healthier and eating not kibble. You know what I'm saying? Then believe. I believe in you, Jen. I believe that you can manifest anything that you put your mind to. You can do it. You can make it happen, Jen. If you want it, you can make it happen. Make it happen. I believe in you. Roadside cookout, whatever, some gator and some duck and some iguana, you know what I mean? That would be, you would probably get a lot of people showing up, even not even carnivores. You're like, if you posted, I'm having a carnivore and we're having gator, duck, iguana, and make them heart attack burgers you like so much. You know what I mean? Get on it. Get on it. You could even put together a meetup where you charge people money. I know you wouldn't do that, but you could do it to where you could afford to buy the supplies. Just calculate how much it would probably cost, add 10 or 15% to cover any unknowns, and make it happen. You could do it. I believe in you, Rick. From what I understand, you've probably never had tetanus, and that is surprising, so I believe in you. Oh. Ivy's talking about playing the Hunger Games here with Airsoft to explore a 300 acres and pond. That sounds terrible. I mean, I'd love to explore looking at ponds and all that stuff, but I don't want to get shot at. That sounds terrible. I don't think I like that. Pete, Mr. Papa Carnivore is in the house. Good morning, Dustin and Keto Carnivore Crazies. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So very glad to see you. Yes. Weather started getting rough. Jabberjin don't go on a 3-hour tour. 3-hour tour. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Josephine says, I did, but the ex took over, had, let's see, had the paperwork behind it, did most of the work part. Yeah, I loved it. One Christmas had superheroes, Batman, Green Lantern, and The Flash. It was so cool. 3 puppies, best Christmas. I love that. There we go. Mr. Kevin from Tuber Chat's in the house. Hello, my friend. How are you, Kevin? So very glad that you could join us today. Thank you. Yes. Evelyn is back. She's got her coffee. I love it. Sharon Holloway. Hello. Good morning, all. Just in from my morning garden harvest. I love it. Fantastic. Karen Harrington is in the house. Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning, beautiful Karen. So very glad to see your bright and beautiful face today. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. So very glad that you could be here. Yes. And everybody's saying hello to everybody. I'm probably not going to go as long as I did last week. I did 3 hours last week. I'm going to have another live stream later today, so I probably need to save a little bit of this voice. For later. I don't know how long. We'll maybe go for at least maybe another 30 minutes. If you guys can show me that you want it in the chat, I'll stay around for another 30 minutes. I have a little bit of Diet Pepsi here. I'm trying to cut back on soda. I've cut back on the amount of Coke Zero I'm drinking. Is it cheating by switching to Pepsi? Like I had a friend one time, he was like, you know what? I've really cut back on the amount of whiskey I'm drinking. And I'm like, I'm really proud of you. He goes, you got to switch to tequila. All right, I had to mute for that. That was gross. You didn't want to hear that anyway. Fried bologna. It's delicious. Christy says, I won't be eating breakfast, still full from last night's late night grill. We had to wait until it wasn't hot out, but hung out with the fam around the fire pit barbecue last night. That sounds awesome. How far are you from the ocean? How far are you from the beach? Inquiring minds want to know. Inquiring minds want to know. Karen says she quit coffee a week ago. Mornings have been a bit rough doing a N=1 experiment. I am very sorry for your loss. I too have quit coffee before, and I've realized the error of my ways. And I have come back. I crawled back and I said, I'm so very sorry that I quit you. Yeah, Aaron. I mean, I feel this 100%. Like sitting in a space in the dark, no one's awake, no TV, no phone, just kind of enjoying the peace. Just the peace. That's like why we like the bathroom so much. We can just be in there for a while. We can close the door. Just kind of like, you know what I mean? Just relax and enjoy it. Karen says the renovation of their house has begun. New floors throughout the whole house, a new kitchen, plus all new paint and trim. Well, that sounds amazing. I hope that you are paying someone to do all that work for you. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Sharon says, I only do caffeine in the fall and winter with hot tea. Other than that, I don't like coffee. Well, more for me. I will drink your share, Sharon. I will be glad to have all of yours. Yes, yes. Christy says, my perfect morning couch, coffee, Pixel on my lap, and the quiet morning. Yes. And Evelyn says, ooh, Karen, my heart hurts for you. I hope the experiment proves that it only takes your joy away and you need it back. Yes. I hope that she finds whatever she needs to find from this, and she can find happiness regardless. Any way that she goes. But I love coffee so, so very much. Let's see. Christy says, oh, I remember that. We did that in 2020. It started because I needed a room to teach from, expanded to kitchen, both bathrooms, etc. Crazy. Yeah. Like, we ended up getting new flooring in 2021. That was rough. And we already needed new flooring. Like, we went with, so we had it like a gift. And we had, like, we were getting a gift of like, of an amount of money. And we had to get new, we decided to utilize that gift to get new flooring. And we tried. And so all the flooring in the house was about 20 years old. And like the carpeting downstairs had like there was some of the carpet down, like near the entryway had like paint spills, like a whole gallon of paint had tipped over onto it. So it was like flat and plasticky. And like, you know, the floors in the bathrooms and the floors in the kitchens and all that stuff were just ready to be changed. So we've worked out a way to get like laminate flooring throughout the downstairs and the bathrooms and then our laundry room and then carpet everywhere else upstairs. And it worked out to be right on budget. Like, I think we were like $100 over or whatever. And the laminate flooring is just not holding up as well as we would have hoped. It's only been, 5 years. So, we'll have to replace those at some other point. Jabberden's going to take a nap before I fall asleep again. Talk to you later. Well, hope you enjoy that nap. Enjoy it. I do enjoy naps from now and again every day. Yes. Ivy says, our meetups are potluck. If you can't afford that, just bring paper plates or just you. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. Terry Girl is here. Everybody, hide your wallets and rings. Terry is here. Hello, Terry. How are you doing, dear? So very glad to see you. And Evelyn is like, please stay. Like, stay. Isn't that Lisa Loeb song? I saw Lisa Loeb live one time. It was her and Dweezil Zappa, of all people, together on stage at the same time. It was Lisa Loeb and Dweezil Zappa. Frank Zappa's kid. It was weird. It was just a strange thing. Very strange. Josephine says, I still need to take out the bin. Bin man is coming. OMG, 10:30 p.m. It's cold and windy. Looks like a storm, but weirdly, I can't hear the wind. Bin man is coming. And Sharon is here. Steadfast Sharon. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sharon. How are you? So very glad to see you. Donna says we're clambering for another 30 minutes. Woo! Fried bologna with fried peppers and onions. That sounds amazing too. One thing that I've done before is I'll take bologna and like another kind of lunch meat, whether it be turkey or chicken or whatever, and I'll cut it into small little pieces and I'll fry it up in a pan, and then I will put it over cheese and just eat it with a spoon. It's delicious. Very, very yummy. Very yummy. Very, very yummy. Or I'll make my waffles and make gigantic, thick sandwiches with like deli turkey and bologna. I mean, is that the cleanest stuff you can eat? No. But like, to me, like, I try to explain to Chandra, because Chandra didn't grow up on bologna and she refuses to eat it. I grew up on bologna. And there are little things that can bring you a taste of home, right? Like, because like, like at a certain point, you can't go home again. You can't go back to your parents' house. It's not there. They're not there. That's gone, right? So you have to find little ways to kind of go home again. And a bologna sandwich is a way to kind of, even for just a few minutes, to go home again. And I think that's kind of why, we all clamber for that nostalgia. whatever the nostalgia is for us, whether it's movies or some kind of food from our past, we need that nostalgia. We need that. We need to find a little bit of that, little bit of escape to kind of find a way to go home again. If even just for a few minutes, right? Just a couple of minutes. I think that's, I can't say that it's a bad thing. Christian says, we're about an hour inland. That's why it's hot here. We don't have that ocean to mediate the temps, usually in the 90s to 100 in the summer. Yeah, like I've been to California, and I knew the difference. Like when, we were in it was late June in 2006. We were in Riverside, California, and it was hot, so hot. And then we get into Los Angeles, and Los Angeles was kind of hot. And then we get to Santa Monica, and it's 71 degrees, 72 degrees. We got in the water. It was too cold to be in the water, even in June, but we didn't care. I'd never seen the ocean before. I was 27 years old by the time I saw the ocean. Turned 27 years old in Las Vegas. Then we drove to Riverside and stayed the night, had a good time. We partied. Then we went to Los Angeles. We did all the Los Angeles stuff. We went to Barney's Beanery, saw some bands play at the Whiskey, and then we went all the way. And then we went up to San Francisco. We had a good time. But Los Angeles is a strange place, I'll tell you. It's driving through Bel Air, driving through Hollywood, and all that stuff, and driving through Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills. Yeah. This is where we can afford to live. I don't know if anybody affords to live in California. California. Yes. Aaron said, I tried quitting coffee. It was the worst 5 minutes. I quit coffee every day when my cup is empty. I give up the next day when I make more. Yeah, Evelyn says, clamor, clamor, clamor. We need 30 minutes more. Josephine says, I keep going back, but I regret it. It just upsets my tummy. Coffee, my old friend and villain. I understand. And Pete says, I tried quitting coffee for a week, but I didn't feel any better. I'm not ever quitting again. My 103-year-old grandmother drank coffee every morning, so can I. I mean, there's people who've lived in their hundreds and they eat Fatback and drink a half gallon of Thunderbird every day, but that doesn't mean I'm going to do that. But I understand the logic, because I feel like you get to a point where you're giving up things, there's a diminishing return. Give up carbohydrates, huge return. Give up sugar, huge return. Give up seed oils, big return. Give up a lot of other things, huge return. Giving up coffee, not really. You may see small beneficial changes, but I don't think it's enough to outweigh how good coffee is. My good friend Carl says, the dog food is 53% fat, 43% protein, 4% carbohydrates. It has a few low-carb veg for mineral balance. Dogs are facultative carnivores, which means they can thrive on mostly meat and minimal veg for balance. Yeah, I think that I've seen people do that where they mix some dog food with sweet potato, a little sweet potato or whatever in there. And I've seen people mix rice in there a little bit, just a little bit of rice, just to kind of clump it together, I guess. I don't know. Let me know if that's something that would be a good idea. Because it's got to be something that we can make that they can eat, and they got to figure out how much they need of each day to see how economical it really is. Pete says, I just had 5 eggs fried in lots of butter with a can of Icelandic cod livers. They are so delicious. It's I'm not doubting you, But the idea of hearing Icelandic cod livers and so delicious, and they're connected, I mean, they're not in the same sense because it's separated by a period, but I'm saying that it's like, and not that I don't believe you, because I've heard Chris Cook in Nashville also say that he truly, really enjoys cod livers. I haven't found any in the real world, and I haven't got the balls yet to order any. Maybe I will. I don't know how much. I don't know what's a good price for them, but yeah, maybe I need to look at the because I know that like in the Cincinnati area there is a place called what's that place called, Evelyn? I don't know. You don't really live near Cincinnati, but there's that place. It's not Trader. I keep want to say Trader Joe's. It's the oh man, what's it called? I don't know. I can't think of it right now. It's like a market, like a international market that's like huge. Jungle Gyms. Thank you, Sharon. Jungle Gyms. Thank you. Yeah, we've got a place like that. We got a couple places like that here in Indianapolis, but they are not touristy. They're actually where people who live in those areas want to go. Like those people, like there, it's an international market because it's an influx of people from all those countries come here to shop. So it's a mix of smells for sure. And but I imagine if anybody's probably gonna have cod livers, that place might have some. That place might actually have some cod livers. But yeah. Tonight I got a big juicy ribeye for dinner. Then when I get home from work around 7:30, woo woo. Josephine just says, just started up, yeah. Let's see, no, might be in the eye part, or it's going to go away. I was hoping for some rain. Oh, no. Uncle Willie says, thick-cut fried bologna is delicious. Uncle Willie, you are so very correct. Bologna is life, says Terry. I love bologna. You get it, like, I mean, it's like 14 ounces. You get 2 for $5, basically, so you're getting 28 ounces for $5. I mean, it's not the best for us, but it's not the worst either. But it brings me home. A bologna and cheese sandwich on my waffles is like, oh. I mean, it's not wheat bread because I used to eat it with wheat bread when I was a kid. But, you know, Rick had pork chops last night, and I'll have them again for the next couple of nights. I ordered a large package of them. It will take about 3 days to eat them all. You know what? I think you can get it done in 2. If you really put your mind to it, put your heart and soul into it, Rick, I think you could accomplish it in just 2 days. You know? Horizon Crochet is here. Fried spam and eggs takes me home. But my mom was an amazing cook, and it was just one of her lazy day meals. Yeah. Don't like spam. Like, I remember my great-grandmother would feed me spam, but it was I don't know if it was the generic type, but it was called treat. Let's see. Let me ask this. Let's see. Treat, made by Armour, is historically often considered the closest competitor to an unofficial generic equivalent or knockoff of spam. But it was its own distinct brand. Today, almost all major grocery chains like Walmart, Dollar General all produce their own official store brand variations, simply called luncheon meat. While they fall under the same category of canned processed pork and chicken, they differ noticeably in quality ingredients. Spam prides itself on simpler, higher quality ingredients, first focusing primarily on pork, shoulder, and ham. Generic brands and Treat are, on the other hand, frequently use a mix of pork and mechanically separated chicken as their base. Texture and taste, Spam generally has a firmer, meatier texture. Generic luncheon meats and Treat tend to be softer, more closely resembling a hot dog or bologna. Interesting. They all kind of taste the same, but I don't know, like my great-grandma used to make Treat for me when I was a kid. Evelyn says, we found a new egg dealer. Our old one had gotten out of the business. Oh, crazy. My egg dealer was Stacy. She's who I got my eggs from. Now I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody to give me eggs. I don't know anybody locally. I should. I just don't know. I don't know anybody locally. And I'm okay with getting eggs from Walmart for now. We go through so many. And Christian says, yes, I'm right near Riverside, a bit south of there. Yeah. Yeah. Donna Ray says, I love fried spam. Sounds like another experiment of one. Yes. Oh, let's see. Sharon says, grilled cheese and tomato soup. Can't do the bread at all costs, but I've dipped a quesadilla and egg life wrap into a cleaner tomato soup than Campbell's last winter. It works. I imagine that my waffle recipe with cheese would work well in a cleaner tomato soup. I know Chris Cook in Nashville, I believe he has a tomato soup. If you look over at Sahil, it used to be low carb or Headbanger's Kitchen. He's now changed it. He's changed his low carb channel to something else, and Headbanger Kitchen is now a different channel. He had a cleaner, keto friendly tomato soup as well. I mean, realistically, just some spices and some pureed tomato, maybe a little bit of cream and butter mixed into that, and just pureed and mixed and heated up and thickened a little bit. I think that would probably be really delicious. Uncle Willie says, I quit coffee in January, started drinking it last week. I don't think I will drink it daily again. That's just one of those things, like, I don't understand. Like, to me, like, coffee is life. I just really like it. Karen says, I'm trying to put my scalp psoriasis in remission by cutting coffee. It was a suggestion to try. My coffee is colored water. That's interesting that coffee would have something to do with psoriasis, because I know that psoriasis typically is cleared up with like the lowering of carbohydrates and all that stuff. Have you tried like a 30, 60, or 90 lion diet experiment to see how that helps? I'm very curious, Karen. Let me know. Sharon says, I have a couple cases of Spam in my survival food stash. I have I had a can of past year with eggs. It doesn't really satisfy me for meat. Yeah. Risa is here. Good morning, Risa. How are you, my dear? And Terry is here. She says, California summers were a beautiful thing in my youth. Growing up by the beach was great. Now it's a crowded disaster to even try to visit. I stick to the river life. Now, you know what? Rivers and lakes have nothing compared to the ocean. And I figure that there's still got to be some stretch of some beaches out there that are pretty nice, even in California. Pete says, everyone at work eats a ton of carbs, sugar, and crap. I just watch them stunned in amazement. Well, the thing is that you used to probably do the same thing. I mean, people wake up slowly. And it's just one of those things, like, I still see my kids eat that crap every day. But what's amazing to me is the fact that they know me and Chandra, and they've seen how we've lived over the last couple of years, right? So that, like, reality would be they should know better, but they just continue to do what they're going to do, right? They're going to continue to do what they're going to do. And Terry asks, what bologna brand is my favorite? I would have to say Eckrich. Eckrich regular bologna, not thick cut, just regular cut bologna, because that's what my grandmother liked. My grandmother liked Eckrich bologna, and sometimes I will get it cut thin, super thin from the deli, but most of the time I buy it in the packages from where the hot dogs and stuff are. But Eckrich over Oscar Mayer bologna, but I like Oscar Mayer hot dogs better than Eckrich. Eckrich hot dogs are not as clean. Oscar Mayer hot dogs are cleaner. But Eckrich bologna brings me back. It takes me home. Sharon says, cod liver is rather good tasting, but for me, it's a texture. Nope, can't do it. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah. Everybody's saying Jungle Gyms. Yeah. Just couldn't think of it for some reason. I was thinking, for some reason, I was like Jungle Gyms or Trader Joe's, and it was a name. It was a two-thing thing. You know what I mean? Two-thing thing. Reza said, hi, Sean. Just watched your interview with Dustin. Terrific job, you two. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Very good show. Oh, Terry says that Booby Goat says that cod livers are delicious. I have not tried them yet either. Are they good deep fried? Can you wrap them in batter and deep fry them? Could you? I wonder if they'd be good. Aaron says, Pete, that is how my work is. They eat their chips, their rice cakes. Well, rice cakes used to be healthy. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. Sean and I had rice cakes and peanut butter. That was the snack. And I remember I would get the white cheddar rice cakes. The white cheddar rice cakes. Oh, my God, those were a good snack. But, I mean, you'd eat the whole package, unfortunately. There was zero satiety there. Zero satiety when it came to rice cakes. I could eat the whole package of white cheddar rice cakes. They were so delicious. And Andy says, I didn't mean to delete that message. Oh, I didn't even see it. So I didn't even see it. It's okay. It's okay. Sharon says, Jungle Gyms does have cod livers, so that makes me feel like I could go to ours, which is called Saraga. There's like 3 or 4 locations. One's not too far from me. That one's like packed every weekend. And it's like where you can get like, I know they have like a halal section, and I've even seen at one other location, you get frozen durian fruit. Frozen durian in Indiana. Durian fruit in Indiana. Fruit that smells like feet. Pete says, Sharon, my mom won't touch cod liver. She just makes a face like. That face? Is that the face she makes? I bet it's that face. Aaron says, cod livers in a can is great. Silky, smooth, so healthy. Best canned fish, in my opinion. I need to try these things. Need to try it. Papa says, Papa Pete, my coworkers don't eat that healthy, Aaron. They eat burritos and fast food and pizza, subs, mac and cheese. You know what? I like them, and that sounds delicious. Okay, so here's the thing. So our bonus boy, we have a bonus kid who lives in our house with us, and he's just kind of been our kid since high school. Since our kids were in high school, basically just been one of our kids. He was here. He's lived with us. He goes on vacation with us. He's our kid. He's my son for all intents and purposes. He's not Chandra's kid. He's not my kid. But he is our kid. And his mom lives in this neighborhood, but we love him, and he just is our kid. And he bought he bought some school pizza, the square school pizza, whatever, sausage. And I saw it in the freezer, and I'm like, ooh. And I was like, whose is this? And I was going to eat some, knowing that I shouldn't. But it looked so delicious. But then I realized that he had to have it ordered online and delivered. Because I thought that you used to be able to get that stuff from like butcher shops. Like you could get that square sausage pizza from like butcher shops and like those kinds of places. They would just carry it because that's like wherever schools would get their stuff from. I need to look that up and see, because that stuff was delicious back in the day. Do I need it? No, I really don't. But I want it. And yeah. Coach Angela Mullins is in the house. Hello. Hi. How are you? Welcome. She says, hi, Dustin. I am babysitting today until after 9 p.m. Then I have to drive an hour and a half back home. Well, please enjoy it. My babies live here. My grandbabies live here with me, so I see them all the time. And I was playing with the new one yesterday while we were hanging out together before mommy and big sister got home. And she kept grabbing my beard. I'm like, no, you can't have it. It's my beard. It's my beard. You can't have it. And she was like, started to make the face like, no, you can't get upset that you can't have my beard. It's mine. You can't have it because it hurts. Evelyn said, this got deleted accidentally. Papa Carnivore, a few days ago, I tested out my new mini waffle maker, made truffles and eggs and shredded cheese and a bit of cream as buns and my jumbo beef Costco hot dogs. Yes. How was that, Mr. Pete? Let me know how it is. I love it. Ivy says, anyone in the southeast Missouri area that maybe want to help this old lady attach a farm tank to a fireplace to make a smoker? Does anybody know where, well, that's Missouri. I think he lives in Kansas. I was thinking, I don't know. I'm sure there's people out there somewhere, but I can't think of anybody just yet. Uncle Willie prefers Spam over treat. I haven't had either one. I have the Walmart version in the pantry that I bought a couple years ago. I'm sure it's going to last until the end of time, but I was like, I'll try it. But yeah. Jeff says the Healing Humanity movie will be at RJ Cinema, an Eastgate area of Cincinnati. Jungle Gyms is next door. Yes, that'll be on the 28th, if I am not mistaken, in Cincinnati. If you're in the area, get a ticket, go see Healing Humanity's movie. I will be seeing it on the 27th here in Indianapolis. Our good friend Brett from Hoosier Carnivore is putting that together. I do believe that Carrie Mann will be in attendance, so I might get to meet him. We'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. Horizon Crochet says, another old WW2 era meal. I loved cream chip beef over toast. Shit on a shingle, otherwise known as shit on a shingle. Yeah, so good, but bad. Well, they were just looking to get easy food into the soldiers back then, and it was cheap. You know what I mean? Carl says, I will email you the recipe. As far as quality goes, do a quick search for canine calorie calculator. Should include ideal weight, breed, activity level, age, minimum starting amount. Okay, that's good. I appreciate that, my friend. They are not my dogs, but I want them to be healthy no matter what. If they're going to live in my house, I want them to be healthy if I can help it. Aaron says, I have one coworker who isn't keto or carnivore, but she said she'll cut out bread because she has seen my results. It's a start. 100% encouragement. They start doing it, start seeing them doing it. You'd be like, oh, you're looking fantastic. All right, how's that going? How is it going? Risa says, I was at Target the other day and tried to find a Dash multi-maker. They didn't sell any. Just the one with 4 slots. I'll keep looking. I want the one that has peanut characters. I've seen it online. Let me see what I can find, because I am an Amazon affiliate. Let me see if I can find it here. Let's see. Peanuts Dash waffle maker. Here's a mini one that is Snoopy. Hang on, Snoopy. Oh, here's one. Here's the malty one. 4 plates. Joe Cool, Flying Ace, Beagle Scout. Let's see. This one's got 4 different plates that you can choose from. 4 different Snoopies. They have Peanuts Holiday. They've got, let's see, that's a holiday one. They've got a Mickey Mouse one. You can have Goofy, Minnie, Mickey, and I'm not sure who else. I don't know which one you would like. I'll put both of these in here for you. I'll put the Peanuts one and the Holiday Peanuts one in here for you. Let's see. There's the Peanuts Dash. And Here is the holiday peanuts dash. There we go. I think it's going to show you the same. You just click on them. And as always, if any of you are ever looking to buy big ticket items and you want to help this channel, you're going to buy something big ticket item from Amazon, use my link to the best of your ability. Those big ticket items, I guess there's a coupon. You get it for $26. You get it for $26 on there. There's a coupon button, a coupon button. You can save $8.75. So you get it for $26 or whatever. That's pretty awesome. But any of you guys who are going to be making big ticket item purchases from Amazon, like computers or TVs or whatever, cell phones, anything that's a big ticket item, or even just little things, use my Amazon link and buy those things. It doesn't change anything for you, but I get a little bit of a kickback. Like the last month, I've made like $24. So, I mean, it's not life-changing money, but a little bit here and there helps. And it doesn't change anything for you. And Pete says, Evelyn, I've only used it once to make chaffle buns for my hot dogs, but it was great. I added some mustard and it was almost like eating a hot dog on a bun. Even better, maybe. I love it. Yeah, and let's see. Sharon says, tomato soup should be easy to clean up. I'll check it out this winter. Yeah, for sure. I love it. Smoothie says, my local Angus beef vendor stopped selling steaks. That doesn't even make sense. Those words in that sentence, they don't even make sense. The order in which they are, I don't understand. Why would an Angus beef vendor stop selling steaks? Then what are they selling then? Angela has not had coffee in a week. Sure, I will start back at some point. Oh, my goodness. Evelyn with the win. She's put HK's keto tomato soup in there. I love it. Pete says, the brand of waffle maker is Pace. I got the mini waffle maker that makes square mini waffles on Amazon. Was about $49. Totally worth it. I love it. I have one. I have a Dash one. Dash that makes 4 waffles. I'm going to be giving that away. I am doing a giveaway. I promise. I have been very, very much slacking on that, but I will get to it. I do promise there will be a giveaway with lots of cool things. So keep your eyes peeled for it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness. I'm so slacky. Such a slacker. Man. Risa says, still have brain fog, drinking my coffee, work at 11:30 this morning, one more week of work, then my vacation week, cannot wait. I love it. Everybody needs a vacation. Everybody needs a vacation. Dash, not Pace. There we go. That makes more sense. I was like, is there another company? It doesn't surprise me. Amy is here. I love you, Amy. Amy is here. She says, sorry I'm late. I needed to sleep in. I understand. I understand so much. Uncle Willie says, super thin Spam in the oven makes delicious chips. I have not tried it, but one of these days, maybe I will. And Karen says, I have not tried Lion Diet. Coffee was the constant. I have some gut issues going on. Maybe try out the Lion Diet for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Just give it a shot. I would look at, there's a lot of amazing results that people have gotten. People have helped with their rheumatoid arthritis, all kinds of things. Just beef, salt, and water for 30, 60, 90 days. It is a challenge. It is a definite thing to do. It is a legitimate difficulty, I imagine. Because, I mean, still no coffee, but still. Brian Airy is saying hello to Amy. And Karen says, question, if I add keto chow to my chaffle, will I have to add a liquid? I know keto chow thickens. I mean, maybe. You can always just kind of add a little. You don't even have to add a full packet. It just depends on how much you're making. And Evelyn says, when choosing coffee, search for low or no mold varieties and single source beans for less inflammation. Yeah, I just use my. I mean, I don't know how much my coffee is impacting me. Rick says, I tried to get my beauty sleep last night, but the night before, but it didn't work. Oh my goodness. Terry said, a cold piece of lettuce wrapped around a cold Oscar Mayer wiener was one of our snacks as a kid. That's crazy. I used to eat like cold right out of the fridge hot dogs. There's such a difference in flavor between a hot dog and a cold hot dog, and the textures are so different. It's crazy how different they are. Jackie is here. Hello. She says, hello, Dustin. Hello, all doing my the dog training in Mishawaka. Waka, waka, waka today. Washa, waka, waka. And Evelyn says, Karen, the recipe I use is 6 eggs, 2 cups cheese, 1 serving keto chow flavoring or spices. Love it. Amy says, I thought durian smelled like dead body. No, it just smells really pungent like feet. It was one of the things that like Andrew Zimmern wouldn't eat. He would eat anything. The 2 things that he didn't like were durian and walnuts, of all things. Andrew Zimmern would eat anything and just about everything except those 2 things. Jackie says, oh my goodness, they need to move the send button on chat. Just caught Kelly Hogan's bucket list interview. It was awesome. That's okay. Oh, Brenda. Where's someone said hello, Brenda. Where's Brenda? Where am I missing that? Where am I missing that? Let me see. Am I missing something here? Brenda Jones is in the house. Hello, Brenda. Good to see you, dear. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Brenda Jones is in the house, everybody. Everybody say hello to Brenda. Yes, Kelly is in Missouri somewhere. He's coming to, I do believe, our August the 8th meetup. He sent me an email letting me know. I'm excited to meet Kelly. Yeah, and Amy says that Kelly would know how to do that, Ivy. And Lance is here. Good morning, Lance. So glad that you could join us, my friend. How are you? Welcome. And Christy says, I've been helping get the Southern California showing of Healing Humanity set up. We have a theater, now looking for a restaurant. No Brazilian steakhouses around here. That's the thing, is like, I'm going to the showing, but I cannot afford to go they're going to meet up at Fogo de Chao. And it's like $130. I cannot afford that. There's no way. I want to support them, but I can't afford $130 for a meal. I'm sorry, I cannot. That's not in the game plan. So I will be missing that event. Steadfast Sharon says, cream chip beef is meat, cream, and butter. Can substitute flour, pour over truffles. You could take like the steakums meat, and mix that in with like some heavy cream, some cream cheese, butter, and mix that together and probably let it thicken a little bit. You could probably get and pour that over truffles. You can get keto shit on the shingle. Probably so good. Probably need a little bit of black pepper in there too, if you can handle that. Yeah. Jackie says, I need someone to babysit Moose in October. I don't trust anyone anymore. We've got some pretty cool, and good quality, what do they call them? Like the places you can take your dog, the boarding places. They're pretty good, I think. We've got one on the north side, not far from where our kids just bought a house. they bought a house and not far from the boarding place where they're probably going to be boarding their dogs while they go to Japan and then Alabama with us. Crazy. Jackie says, anybody want to Airbnb at my house and take care of my pets in exchange for rent? October's going to be busy, busy, busy for us. We've got so much to do in October. 2 kids are getting married. We're going on vacation. I don't think it'll be us. Uncle Willie watched Cholesterol Code last night. It was free on YouTube. It was pretty good. Would like to see Healing Humanities. Yeah, I watched. It was involved in the premiere the other day. That was pretty cool on Friday. The premiere of Healing Humanity, or the premiere of Cholesterol Code with Dave Feldman was in the chat, and Nick Norowitz was in the chat, and Dr. Barry, and so many amazing people were in the chats. Nisha, and then went over to watch in the private group. Nisha and Alyssa were doing a talk to coaches and stuff. So that was pretty cool. Let's see. Evelyn says, my greatest keto accomplishment has been making my grandmother's Pennsylvania Dutch pumpkin pie into a keto version. We have it throughout the holidays. Yes. One of my favorite innovations as far as keto is concerned is pumpkin sausage soup. I cannot wait to make it again. I'm so excited. I just love pumpkin sausage soup. So good. So good. Aaron is asking Lance, how was the parade? I have games. I can't watch your live today. We'll catch the replay. Oh, my goodness. Oh, Aaron is here. Our good buddy Aaron is in the house. Hello, my friend. How are you, Aaron? Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone has a great day. I hope you have a great day, my friend. How are you? Yes. What went out of business? Movie went out of business? Oh, they went out of business. Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. I was like, why did they stop selling steaks? They went out of business. That makes total sense then. All right. Mary T. The source of all the fires is Mary T. Let her know that you don't like the fires and you don't like the fact that those Canadian smokes are heading into the United States. Oh my goodness. The fact that people are complaining about it, like Canada has any, like, really? Okay. It's silly. It's goofy. It's what it is. But we love you, Mary T. But I knew it was all your fault. I knew it. Whoo! Andy says, coffee with orange cream keto chow as the creamer. Yummy. Replacing my heavy whipping cream is hard for me. I bet. Orange cream and coffee. I'm curious. I'm so curious. I'm so very curious. So very curious about that. Oh, we need to do meetups. Yes, yes, yes. And Pete says, I can't get anyone to work to listen to me about changing their diet, but they know I'm a crazy meat eater, and they see how much super energy I have at 64. I walk faster than any of them. Yeah, I mean, and you're probably complaining about how you feel less. You're just moving around better. It's weird how just so weird, right? It's just so weird. And Aaron says, that sounds fair. Speaking of fairs, I'm nervous about going to our big fair. I've not been in years. All the food noise, fried dough, sweets. I'm afraid I will get into temptation. Here's the deal. And this is not going to be advice for everyone. This is not advice. This is how I handle it. I go to the fair once a year. Once a year. It's hot. It's a lot of walking. It's crowded. Lots and lots and lots and lots of people. But it's like, I know it's once. And I don't go crazy with sweets. I allow myself to get a couple of corn dogs because I love corn dogs. And I don't make imitation corn dogs all throughout the year. I don't do any of that stuff. But I allow myself once a year really to have a couple of corn dogs at the state fair because they make them fresh right there. They're fresh hand-dipped corn dogs. And I mean, realistically, if you're worried about it, eat a lot before you go. We have like $2 Tuesdays or whatever, where you can get every food vendor place has $2 options. Just get some. I mean, if you're not get yourself something like a diet soda or something while you're there, or eat just a ridiculous amount of whatever before you go. Go stuffed so you're not as tempted. You know you better than anybody else does. You know you better than anybody else does. And Amy says, my Apple AirPods for hearing aids are working great. I didn't know you were having issues with your hearing, but interesting. I'd like to know more. Would you like to know more? Mary T says, we buy our coffee from a tiny local roaster. I really notice a difference from the store-bought and how I feel. Yeah, I imagine that getting it fresh roasted, fresh, small batch is probably way, way better. And Uncle Willie says, I'm starting 72-hour fast, a 72-hour fast. I can't even talk. Goodness gracious, great balls of fire, okay? I'm starting weekly 72-hour fast tomorrow. North Dakota Carnivore Lance has been getting amazing results. Time to do the experiment. I need to start doing that as well. I need to see how it goes. I would see if I can fast but have my coffee still. So it's not a true fast, but I'm not eating anything else. We'll see how that goes. Maybe. Could I do 3 days without coffee? I don't know. Would I want to? Would those be 3 suffering days? I don't know. Risa says, speaking of Zimmer, he made a line of foods at Target. Zim's peanut butter with chili crisp in it. Not the best ingredients, but so good. Yeah, I like his outlook on food. It's pretty cool. Steph is here. Hello, Steph. How are you doing, dear? How are you? Good morning, Keto Carnivore peeps. Hello. Oh. And Lance says, oh, yes, Rumble. Thanks, Dustin, for the reminder. Yeah, I'm doing Rumble today. For some reason, last night when I was trying to set the stream up, Facebook was not working, so it wouldn't let me set it up with Facebook. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Amy says, Dustin, Fogo de Chao in San Diego was $60 a person. Well, it's not the fact that it's Fogo de Chao. It's the meetup price for Fogo de Chao. It's we're getting together, so it's $130 to get together. It's part of you're getting together and getting meet people. It's a whole other price. It's Fogo de Chao is like $50 or $60 here, but it's $130 for the meetup, and then $20 for the movie. So it's like a whole total of $150. I'm just going to the movie. That's all I can do. There's a Q&A at the end of it. That's going to be the goodest. That's going to be the goodest I'm going to get. And Evelyn says, Dustin, you should locate a local B-dubs, and anyone can afford Fogo de Chao could go with you. Yeah, I know there's probably I think there's a BW3's like right next door. But I don't know. I don't necessarily want to like hijack what they're trying to do because I don't know. I'd have to talk to Brett and see what he thinks about it. We'll have to see. I have to reach out to Brett. If Brett shows up in the chat today, maybe we'll find out what he thinks about that. As I don't want to step on any toes. I'm just here to promote the event. And Amy says, check out Canine Doggy Daycare, Jackie. My lifelong friend runs it. Not sure if they do overnights, but maybe the point you be in the right direction. Yeah. That's pretty cool. Lance says, good morning. That's Lance, right? Yeah, that's Lance. Did you change your name or what's going on here? Is this your different account or did you get hacked? IWO 767. 67. Anyway, hello, my friend. That's how I read it too. Smoothie went out of business. It's not smoke, it's sage. You know, I mean, oh my goodness. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh, let's see. Isabel says we couldn't just keep all the smoke for ourselves. We had to share. Thanks. Mary T says the irony is we couldn't see the sun yesterday through the smoke. It's coming from Washington State right below us. Oh, all right. You know, it's fine. It's fine. You know, we've had a lot of rain. It rained the other day so much, like 2 or 3 days in a row, so much. Steadfast Sharon says the only thing that I've ever called my name at the state fair was the Hawaiian Italian ice. It's always super hot out. Everything else has always smelled old. Yeah, I think at least in ours, at least here, they use like a corn oil or whatever. It's probably not the best, but I don't know. Because it's a whole thing with like corn oil and biodiesel and all that stuff. It's Indiana State Fair. There's more than corn in Indiana. You know. Rebecca is in the house. Hello. She says hello. Hey, everyone. Hey, Dustin. Invested in a Keto Mojo for myself and my 2 daughters. A nice way to monitor what's happening and a bit of motivation to see good numbers. I need to reach out to Goody Beats, Logan from Goody Beats, and see if the Keto Mojo ketone sticks will work in my BioCoach reader. I need to reach out because BioCoach doesn't sell them anymore. So I need to know if they still work. Maybe he would be able to tell me. I need to find out. Aaron said, fresh corn dogs and fresh kettle corn were my go-to back in the day. One thing I remind myself, as good as fried dough is, it doesn't taste the same. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, but like one of the ways that I look at this, and this is something that how I do it for me, is the fact that if I say I'm never having something ever again, then it's going to be heavy and weigh on me. If I go, you know what? When the fair comes around, I can have a corn dog. Because then if I feel like, if I'm like, I can never have it again, then every time I see it at the grocery store, every time I see the frozen ones at the grocery store or anything like that, then I'm more likely to try to get them. Like, you know what? Oh, I deserve, but if I know that I have it coming, if I have something to look forward to, the fair, having a couple of corn dogs at the fair once a year, or like, you know, I know we're going to eat crap if we go to Disney, or when we go on vacation, we're probably going to have pizza. These type of things, like, you know, like these are things to look forward to. And they keep me in that mindset that it's not ever again. I can have things whenever I want. But if I kind of know that, like, you know, I'm going to have it here, and then I might have something again here, then it keeps my consistency consistent. Does that make sense? I've never been a big fan of, I like kettle corn, but that's never been a thing that I got there because it's like 95 degrees and just kettle corn when you're sweating into your butt crack is not the best thing. Like something good and cold, like a good ice cold soda, or like even like the lemonades, like the fresh, like the lemonade shake-ups that they have. It's just so much sugar. Like I don't feel like those refresh me, you know? Aaron says, Lance is the fasting master. I tried to go with him last week. 66 hours was not too bad. Now, I fasted, and I have fasted a bunch. My longest fast is 21 days. I have kind of moved on a little bit from fasting. I used to fast, be very mindful of my fasting, and fast like 21 hours a day for a long time. Now I'm just kind of like, if I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. I don't really think about it now. It's like this morning I had food before I had coffee. I was like, I want eggs. So I made eggs. Pete says, I also used to love corn dogs and fried dough, sprinkled with powdered sugar. Yeah, that stuff is delicious. And every once in a while, like they have fried butter there, like fried butter. It's one of my favorite things there. They take frozen butter, wrap it in dough, and then fry it. So when you bite into it, you get that melted hot butter. It's so good. So good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, and Evelyn's sharing the keto funnel cakes from Chris Cook in Nashville. I love it. And Risa says, Dustin, your mindset when it comes to junk food is really good. This is how I do it. It keeps me from going nuts. If I'm looking forward to one or two specific foods, yeah. Like for me, like it's the idea, like if I have it in my mind that if I say I'm never having that ever again, it's going to eat at me. I'm going to dream about it. It's going to be there. It just is. Now, I've gotten to the point now where, like, I see things and I'm like, you know what? On the average day-to-day basis, it doesn't impact me. I can see the cookies and the candies and all the sweet treats on all the grocery stores and anywhere and everywhere you go, and it doesn't impact me. I can walk through the aisle, like you have to go walk past the bakery aisle to get to the rest of the store in some stores, and it doesn't bother me. But I think if I was in a situation where I didn't have things to look forward to, then I would be more tempted because I'm like, what do I have to lose? But if I have things coming up and I can set my goals and set my expectations and I can set my own consistency, then I think it's better for my overall mental stability. And Uncle Willie says, junk food is not worth the way it makes me feel afterwards, like alcohol or cigarettes. Yeah. And I think, again, it comes down to us individually. Some people, it just is it going to impact me the next day? Sure, it's going to. But then I'm right back on track and I'm doing the things that I need to do for myself. But I have to weigh like the pros and cons. Is it better for me to have it and kind of like knowing that I'm going to have it at the state fair, like the Indiana State Fairs once a year? Or am I going to say, you know what, I'm not going to do it and then end up having it at random times where I'm not planning it? I'd rather have things be under my control. That's the way that I can keep consistency under control, because there's still a lot of things that I have to battle. There's a lot of things. There's still obstacles in this house. I have obstacles in this house every single day. There's always something going on in this house that I have to navigate. Pasta, spaghetti, whatever, pizza. Well, there's always something in this house that I have to navigate. So I'm always kind of on edge a little bit in this house. So if I can get myself to a point where I can navigate all of these things, and I have an idea that I know that, come August, I'm going to get some corn dogs. And then in October, when we go to vacation, I'm going to have this, that, or the other, something that's going to be that I've been looking forward to. That helps me keep my daily consistency, and it helps keep me and my food noise and my food like that it's almost like that inner, like, I wanted, I needed that drive for something. It kind of keeps that at bay. It's almost like an inner monster. Just kind of keeps it at bay, kind of keeps it relaxed. Is it perfect? No. Would it be better if I didn't have the corn dogs? Would it be better that I didn't eat off plan when I went on vacation? Absolutely. But what I have to look at is for myself, how do I maintain the best for me consistency that I can throughout the entirety of the year? It is a piece of a mental game. There's a mental game involved. There's some mental gymnastics that you have to jump through. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. And Mary says, I admire your strength at home. I don't always win. I lose sometimes. I lose. Because sometimes it's just too much. I'm only a man. And I don't have the control over everything in this house. So sometimes I lose. But I have to learn that I am winning most of the battles. And Uncle Charlie says, be careful to remember what happened to Larry and Cassie from Carnivore Quest when they went out to dinner on their anniversary. Yes. And that's always a legitimate risk. It's always a legitimate risk. But I can't speak for Larry and Cassie, but they have to understand and get to understanding who they are individually. And they have to understand, did they make that choice understanding who they are? Like, I can't speak for them. I don't know them that well, but I have to know me. And I have to understand that we don't often do those things where we go out and just have completely bad. Do we end up with bad food? Yes. Do the kids show up sometimes with Dairy Queen and things like that? Yes. Do they they'll just be like, do you want some? And we're like, yeah. And we're making the worst decision possible. And sometimes we make the absolute worst decisions. I would love to sit here and tell you that I always make the right decisions. I would love to sit here and tell you that I always do what's in my own best interest. But I can't. But what I can tell you is the fact that I make a lot more better choices now than I ever used to. Every day was a bad choice. Every meal was a bad choice. But I am so fortunate to have found this community, found this way of eating to where I am mostly under control over the battles that are waged against me. Like, I go downstairs right now and there's pizza and ice cream and there's who knows what else in the freezers. I don't even look in the freezers anymore. We have 2 freezers in the garage that I made sure to get so we could have as much meat as we needed to. It's full of junk food. I don't even look in there because I know if I do, there's going to be maybe ice cream bars. I don't know what might be in there. I know what's in the pantry, on the counter, in the cabinets, on top of the fridge. There's always big chocolate chip muffins or cookies everywhere. And like I said, I'd love to sit here and tell you that that I win those battles every time, but I don't. But I think that's important to be open and honest and transparent to let you know that I fail. I am not always perfect, not anywhere close. But I am so much better than I have been at any other point in my life. I'm not reaching for candy bars at the grocery store. There's just, how do I increase my consistency? How do I make today better than yesterday? Just working at it. Realistically working at it. Big Guy Grind is in the house. Love that idea. It would be great to look forward to some new movie theater popcorn once a year or so. Yeah, I mean, we go to the movies very rarely anymore. But we went to go see the new Minions and Monsters movie, and we got popcorn, diet soda, and popcorn. Popcorn is probably, is it a high glycemic food? Yeah, but I still think it's not the worst that we could get. But anyway, everybody say hello to Anthony, Big Guy Grind. I'll be talking with him later today. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to get to know him a little bit. Hopefully, he comes in and gets to know this community better, what we're all about. And Mary T says, I eat crap every now and then, good crap from a nice bakery or something, but then I feel a little crappy and it's easy to go back to clean and several from, yeah. You know? And Sharon says, I can appreciate how you manage food noise. I have never really had food noise unless it's something cool and refreshing and I want. Yeah, sometimes I just have to be able to say no. I try and say no every time, but not every time. And Evelyn is sharing the live that I will be on later today with Anthony at Big Guy Grind. There's the link. And Amy says, sorry I got booted out of the system, but I'm back listening mode and I'm hopping in the shower. Well, thanks for the warning, my dear. And Aaron says, planning ahead is key. Set a limit to what I'm willing to have. Also, splitting with a family of 4 is great. A taste versus full. Yeah. I mean, a good thing, too, is also going like on the $2 Tuesday where the portions are much, much smaller. You're not getting the full, you're not spending like $12 or $13 on something. You're spending $2 on something, so it's a little bit easier, a little smaller. And Isabel said, yeah, I think having one corn dog at the fair is better than buying, they're like box of 12, box of 20, box of 14, whatever. Because that's what I would do. And I would just make a whole bowl, big plate full of those corn dogs and have macaroni and cheese and some pizza rolls, you know. So I think a win is a win, right? And Risa says, I work in a bakery. How do I stay slimmer and healthier? I only eat specific things, specific items at specific times of the year, a few bites of something once a summer. Yeah, I think we have to be realistic. We have to be realistic when it comes to who we are and what expectations we set for ourselves. Because it's easy to set an expectation of I'm never going to have X, Y, or Z again. It's easy to set those expectations, but it's difficult to execute them and define that true consistency. And we have to realize that there's a war kind of being waged against us here. It's an individualized war because the war against me is different than the war against Risa or Isabel or Aaron or Evelyn. It's a different war for each one of us. The way that we interact with the world, the way that the food culture impacts us each individually is vastly different. There are obviously similarities, but we have to understand that each one of us is fighting a war against food, against culture, against all of these things. And we're trying to win little by little each day. I'll lose a little bit here and there. I try to do good. Like today I had my eggs and my cheese and I've had my coffee. Now, if I can make it to the rest of the day, I'll be better off. I'll be good today. And Jerry, I sent you a message on WhatsApp. I don't know if you still use that or whatever, but I sent you a message because I need to know what's going on with that the recipe thing that you want me to do or whatever. And Aaron's right. This community and others like it help me stay focused. Amy said, yes, Dustin, I had brain ear surgery in 2008. My hearing in my left ear is severely diminished. Let's see. I was told I needed a hearing aid in 2015 at age 40. I have told them twice I'm not paying thousands. So as long as that's working for you, then that's fantastic. And I imagine over time, that technology will come down in price. Because I think they used to be like not very great. They were still thousands of dollars. And Evelyn says, purse bacon in the movies is better than popcorn. We've done that. I've gone in and spent hours making like little pepperoni cheese bites and little pizza bites and stuff. Just fill Ziplocs and just eat that the entire movie. I've done that before. So you probably need to do that again if I'm planning to go to the movies because having tiny little pizza bites is much better than popcorn. But every once in a while, popcorn is delicious. It just is, and I understand. Kelly is here. Hello, hello, Kelly. How are you doing? My brain was trying to say Kelly. Kelly, Carrie. I can't talk. My apologies. Yeah, my doctor told me about the Apple AirPods Pro 3 for under $300. Yeah, if those work, then that's good. And Jerry says, whoo, caught up at chipmunk speed. Good morning. It's day 19 of my prayerful and fasting is going strong. I love that, Jerry. And Risa says, Evelyn, When you make Keto Carnivore Collide recipes yet? Did you post on Facebook? Did you know you were tagged? Interesting. I'm not sure what that is. Brenda Jones says, my pitfalls are boiled peanuts and watermelon. I don't see watermelon as really a huge pitfall unless it really leads to other things. And I don't know about boiled peanuts, but I don't know how many carbs are in boiled peanuts. And I don't know what else is in boiled peanuts. Is it just water and peanuts? Is there a sauce that goes with it? I've seen them in crock pots all across the South, but I've never tried it before. So I don't really know what it is. Right, I thought I would join you. Dustin mentioned you, and it was reminding me to set my stream up on Rumble. Rumble. Oh, you did reply? Okay, I'll take a look at that. All right. I ended up being longer than a half an hour. I ended up going an hour and 10 minutes longer than I told you that I would. So here we are at the end of today. Oh, yeah, Uncle Willie, butter popcorn is one of my guilty pleasures. Haven't had any since November. We don't go to the movies very often. There just hasn't been many movies to go that are worth seeing for us. I imagine we'll probably go back again when Spider-Man 4 or 5 or whatever it is comes out. We'll probably go see that. I'm looking forward to that. But outside of that, there's just not as many movies as I want to see. And everyone says we are fighting a war on different fronts. We can teach each other based off of our battles, yes. And I think that that's why us sharing and being here, being live, and doing our own lives and sharing openly and honestly is so very valuable. I think if we could take something away from today, that, again, the fact that so many people out there need to make changes, but they're not ready. And those of us are here doing this every day, fighting battles day in and day out, little tiny battles, whether it's not to buy a candy bar at the grocery store, not to eat something that someone's left out in the house if you have people that eat everything or whatever they want, not dropping into a fast food drive-thru to pick up something you know you shouldn't have. But we're always winning and losing tiny battles every day. But again, the war is a war of consistency. We're trying to be the most consistent that we can because perfection isn't realistic. None of us are ever going to be perfect. But we can work at being consistent. And what does that look like for you? Again, that's going to be up to you. You have to know yourself. Because what your consistent looks like and what my consistent looks like and what I'm willing to endure for my consistency is different for you. You have different ailments. Some of you have autoimmune issues that if you have something that's just going to flare up and cause you problems for days or weeks. Not everybody has that. My knees might bother me for a day or two. Is that worth it? Maybe. For the long run winning of consistency? Maybe, just maybe. But we have to figure out where we are, who we are, and what battles we're willing to forego to win the war, right? So I think that's where we'll leave you guys today. Thank you all so very much for joining me, being here with me today, sharing your experiences, listening to me for over 2 hours, and then maybe later today when I talk with Anthony on his channel. Please be there. Please go and subscribe to him. Show him the same love and respect that you do for me. And I hope to see you all there in the chats today. And with that, I love you guys, and here come those credits, everybody.